From the galaxies up above and the valleys down below, you are now entering a new zone, the Egg Boy Zone, in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yolking Around episode number 7. This is yet another episode where we're about to get wild, get crazy, get groovy, if you know what I mean. I am super excited to be with you guys. It's been a good minute, about week and a half. Last week, as you guys were able to see, I was not able to post, and the reason why I did not post is because I am in the workings. I'm making something up for you guys. I'm cooking up something real good, hopefully, for you guys. This next weekend will be part of that idea that I have in mind. I'm trying to basically surprise you guys by doing a blog. So me, the Egg Boys and I decided to go on a trip this last weekend. We went to a concert up in Denver, which was amazing. It was a good time over in the Mile High City. We went to see a couple DJs, and it was honestly a great time. We took our friend Victor with us. He hadn't gone to one of these types of concerts. And it was the first time he went. He loved it. We de-virginized him when it came to that kind of thing. In the context of the concert, of course. Don't you guys think some dirty little thoughts there, naughty boys? You guys can't be naughty with Christmas being so close. You guys must stay in the good list. Don't fail. Don't ruin it. But anyways, we were up in Denver, and we shot some good footage, some funny footage for you guys. Hopefully, we can make a good blog happen. I will be leaving to Orlando this next week, and I'm gonna basically get the footage from Denver and the footage from Orlando. So it's gonna be like two different atmospheres, obviously, which might be cool. A warmer one and then a colder one. So we're gonna consolidate that footage and make something good happen. Just showing you guys what it was about over there. I bought a mic. I just want to bring good quality stuff for you guys. Even though this is a learning experience, we are just experimenting. I want to bring the best of the best for you guys, because I want you guys to have fun, and I want you guys to tune in every single time and hit that subscribe, like, bell notification, whatever it takes for you guys to tune in for a good solid hour. I know it seems like a lot, but it goes by quick. It does. When you listen to a crazy man talk, it goes by very quick. We can make up some weird shit. So there's a couple things that happened in Denver. A lot of them were mostly positive. One was uh, very scary in a way, but at the same time was kind of funny. And I know I tend to find funniness in the ugly per se. I don't know why, but it's just the person I am, and you guys will get to see that. Basically, every time we take Yuri to a trip, something weird is gonna happen. The guy's a maniac. He is. That's why we love him, honestly, because he is a maniac. He got lost in the middle of the night, and we were not able to find him, like, for real. Uh, my friend ended up in the hospital, uh, and I don't know how much I want to say. He ended up in the hospital. He's fine. He was okay. He has a big bill coming over his way because yeah, Yeah. So we basically left the hotel. He was safe. Came back, and he was not there. He had ran out. He had a little too much to drink, and we were not able to find him until we asked around. And the front desk, I always get him confused. It's not. Is there a receptionist? The ones in the hotels, host. I don't know what they're called, but the girl in the lobby basically told us, "Yeah, we saw a highly inebriated man walk in the streets, not the streets, but the hallways of the hotel, and we had to call emergency basically, and that's how he ended up in the hospital. Um, we saved him. We were able to get a hold of him. We were able to get in touch with him. Um, so that's pretty much what happened. It was not a pretty time. It was like 3 in the morning. It was horrible timing. But we were able to find him. We brought him home. Slept. The dude was fine. He had just a little too much to drink, and but everything was great after that. He just had a bad hangover. Um, but I will try to explain a little bit more in the blog. Explain the story a little better because we got other shit to talk about today. And I just want to start, guys, with what the f is going on with the cold weather. Here in Colorado, everybody gets excited because fall is upon us, like I said before, but fall only takes 30 minutes of its beautiful, pleasing temperature time. It only takes 30 minutes. We only get fall for like 30 minutes, and then it's white after that. It's pure snow. You only get to see the leaves fall down, lose color, and then it's white the next day. We don't get a lot of fall. We get a lot of falling snow. We do get a lot of that, but not fall. Fall in itself, it's not a thing here in Colorado. Apparently, there are some places where you could, where fall might linger just over the 30-minute mark, and you will see a beautiful scenery. Like if you're up in the mountains in Telluride and towards Durango, the Rockies, anywhere where there's mountains, Aspen, you will be able to see a beautiful scenery of the trees changing colors, aspens, in the mixture of pine trees and yeah, those are about the only trees I know. So you do get to see a little bit of that if you are up and about. But honestly, fall is not a thing here. A lot of people are like, yeah, it is. No, it's not, people. It's not. It's only 30 minutes, and then the cold weather hits. And honestly, it's not very Mexican friendly. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I honestly would love to celebrate Christmas with a pina colada, palm trees, and a beach right in front of me. Because that's way better than snow and cold. And my car not wanting to start in the morning. And me having to scrape off ice in the morning. Knowing damn well that I'm going to be late to work. See, I'm one of those people that does not get up earlier to try to clean out the snow. Either two things happen. Either I put something over my car because I don't have a garage, so I put something over my car so that the snow or the cold don't freeze my windshield, or I just don't get up, and I get up in a hurry, and I'd be trying to scrape off the snow with like a spoon or like a spoon or a credit card or something like that, like an old school gym membership, your library card, just scraping off the snow and the ice off of it. I This is true, guys. This is true. I've done it before. I saw it on Quick Remedies, or one of those good old Facebook posts they always show, where it's like 30-minute hacks, or 30-second hacks or something like that, and that was one of them. It does help, but then you get really cold. It's really hard for me to get up a little, especially now that the weather's changing, for some reason I just love cozying up. Like cold just brings something cozy about it. You know, that's the only good thing about it. Do you get to like stay in and feel warmth and drink your hot cocoa and you order coffee and watch movies and, and it's lovely. And that part is lovely. That part I do buck with. But other than that, stepping outside it's horrible and I dislike it very much. A lot of people like white Christmases. I'd rather have a Christmas where I have pine trees around, not pine trees, palm trees around me. So hopefully one day I'm able to move out of this cold square we called Colorado. Um, I just wanted to say that I've been very pleased with the turnout that you guys have been posting, comments, likes, subscribes. Thank you guys for that. I've been really focused on school, and that'll bring me actually to my next point because if you're in school, it's starting to get to we're starting to get to that last third or fourth or however you want to divide the school year. Um, and it's starting to get a little hectic. It's starting to get a little stressful, and I'm one of those people that remains calm most of the time. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, that is so awesome! That is so cool that you can just remain so calm under pressure." No, it's not, people. No, it's not, fam. And I'm gonna tell you guys why it's not good. We won't need this anymore. Those were my notes for that last block, but we don't need that anymore. I'm gonna tell you guys why being a chill, calm, collected person all the time is dangerous. It's dangerous because usually we don't feel stress until the very end when it's too late to start feeling stress. So I think that it's better to feel stress throughout the course of the year and be basically get hit with little bursts of stress throughout the year than to remain calm and then at the end of the year get hit with a fucking wave of stress that clotheslines you and then leaves you in the dust. Because that's exactly what happens to me. I don't stress, but then towards this age towards this time, excuse me, um, we start getting this final projects and final assignments, essays, presentations, etc., etc., etc. And with me, these last 4 weeks, I get fucking crazy. I get crazy. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I get a little loopy. I get a little frantic. I stop showering. I can't believe I just admitted that. Yeah, there's times where I don't even have time to shower or eat right, and it gets crazy. Uh, I've gotten better over the years. It only happens when it's really bad, like when the stress is really bad, where I'm like, I can't shower. Those 30 minutes I can use uh, to do homework or do a project. I cannot shower, so I end up showering like in 3 days or something like that, something nasty. But I'm pretty good about staying clean though, cause I'm not doing anything really. I'm just kind of like at the house, just not doing much. So it's not like I'm sweating or anything. I just chill basically. But that's no excuse. People should still shower. I like showering. Don't get me wrong. I love showering. It's just like once I'm very stressed, I, things are not processing the right way. So because I love you guys and because you've watched this far, I'm gonna give you guys a couple things I found on the internet that will help you guys stress relieve, stress, beat stress in the head, in the cabeza, beat it down. And one of them is exercising, physical activity. Physical activity helps endorse endorphins There are these hormones that make you feel good, that make the pain go away, and it lowers your cortisol levels as well. So your cortisol levels get too high. That's when you start feeling anxiety, stress. You start feeling like shit, eating like shit, looking like shit, and that's when everything starts basically hitting the fan. If your cortisol levels are very high. Now, I personally like to exercise. I haven't gone to exercise because of freaking uh, being time, not having enough time. I guess I do have time. That we always make that excuse. I just don't have time to do it. We do have time to do it. It's just not a priority, and it should be a priority. I love doing it, but I've been basically restrained from all these outside things that have it tired me out, which is funny because stress makes you mentally tired, whereas exercising makes you physically tired. So, in a way, me being physically tired, it's a lot better than being mentally tired. Because if you're physically tired, you can sit down and you can get shit done as long as your mind is fresh. But otherwise, if your mind is not fresh, like if you have a heavy mind, if you have thoughts happening over and over again, or if you have this constant anxiety or stress hitting you in the back of your head, you could be sitting down, but your mind will be clouded and you will not be able to function correctly. So, in a way, doing exercise and exercising will basically make you weaker, not weaker, will make you physically tired, but it won't make you mentally tired. So it's kind of a weird interaction that happens there between the two. So that's what happens. So I would much rather be physically tired than mentally stressed. So that's one way you could get rid of stress, exercising. If you guys haven't done it, please do it. At least if you keep going to the gym and if it doesn't work for you, at least you'll still look good. You might fail your math class, but you will still feel and look good. You'll have some confidence in you. So you cannot lose with exercise, I guess. Another one that I found out was lighting up a candle. I actually have a. You guys can't see it, I don't think, from the camera, but I actually do have a candle uh, lit up in my room because I like the smell. I like good fragrances. Fragrances. And apparently that's exactly what it does. You can buy different fragrances. Aromatherapy helps relieve some of that stress and pent up aggression or anger or emotional distress, for lack of a better word, that is happening within you. So there's certain smells that will help you basically soothe those bad emotions, bad thoughts, I guess. I found it helpful. It does help me. I light up a candle and it does calm me down quite a bit. So for me, it's a thing I try to do every now and again, especially when I'm doing homework. If I'm doing homework, I like to have a candle lit because it's just kind of like, I don't know, there's like I don't know, I don't want to say a false sense of peace, but there's a sense of peace. I don't know if there's something with the fire being moving and the candle and the smell. I don't know what it is, but apparently you can light up a candle and it does help soothe stress. And I can vouch for that. It does help me. I do light up candles, whatever it is, and there's a sense of welcoming and peace when it comes to that. So if you have a candle, light up a candle, and if you fart, you don't have to worry about your room smelling bad because it's a constant smell of goodness. So you can fart and be distressed. And that to me is a win-win situation. We will need this one. Oh, this is another one. I'm actually drinking coffee right now, but the thing that I found out was don't drink so much coffee, it says. And the reason why that is because it's kind of a, you're kind of in between. It's a conundrum. And this is why. Because when you're stressed out, whether it is work, homework, if it's something that requires you to do a task and that's why you're being stressed, you're gonna you're naturally gonna lean towards caffeinated drinks, whether it is coffee, energy drinks, monsters, teas, whatever it is that has coffee or caffeine in it. You're gonna start leaning more towards, and that's because you're trying to get shit done, which makes sense, right? But apparently, doctors say that that's bad because coffee just brings up that jitterness and that anxiety level to a, and it's basically like having, like when you scrape yourself, like when you fall, when you fall and you just kind of scrape yourself. And basically what it does is you get a scab, and then imagine just kind of like falling again and just reopening that scab. That's exactly what coffee is to stress. You're fueling the fire per se. You're fueling the fire when it comes to stress, and making it worse by drinking more coffee. But it's like if you drink more coffee, you think you're gonna get shit done, but you really don't get shit done because you're more stressed. So it's just a vicious cycle, people. I say just be careful with what you drink when it comes to that. Um, it, it gets to a point. Sometimes we drink, like for me, I'm gonna put myself as an example, like always. Uh, for me, if I'm very tired and I try to drink, I don't know, like a Monster, Bang, whatever, Red Bull, whatever you like to drink, whatever your poison is, and you try to basically get that spike of energy to try to get homework done, try to get shit done. With me, it gets to a point where you're so mentally tired that your mind, it's gonna be like, nah, fam, we're out of order. We're not gonna do shit anymore. You gotta understand. I don't want to do this. We're not gonna do this, and your mind will not work regardless of how much caffeine you put in it. You'll just become crazier with the caffeine. You just become more loopy. You don't necessarily become more productive. You cannot concentrate for that because your body's everywhere, but your mind is not there. So it's just a bad mixture of things, and your homework still doesn't get done. That has happened to me, so I can tell you guys that that's a real thing. So coffee is not always the answer. So another way to relieve stress, apparently, it is laughing at things, and that's why you guys should tune in every week to watch this show, because you guys get to laugh. You guys get to distress from the bullshit. Do you know what I mean? You distress from the bullshit. It's bullshit. You get to tune out and basically listen to a neurotic guy talk in front of a camera for a good hour, telling you how to distress when he is stressed himself. Um, but no, laughing is a good way to loosen up. I try to watch. I feel like whenever I've been in my lowest points in life, laughter has been one of those things that has picked me up in one way, shape, or form. Some people like to listen to music, sad music, happy music. I love watching comedy shows. I love watching comedy because I feel like I don't know. I feel like a way of connection when it comes to comedy and making a show, watching a show that has comedic traits. I don't know what it is. Me laughing kind of lets me forget about the stress and the sadness sometimes that I'm going through. So that's definitely a go to for my end. It sucks because if you're watching something, you're not doing something that you're supposed to. Like, cause like if you have homework, you're supposed to be doing homework, but then you want to watch something so that you distress, then you're not doing your homework because you're paying attention to this thing that you're watching. A lot of people can put headphones and listen to a comedy show through headphones. There's that. You guys can do that, but for me, I can only. I'm like one. Like it's really hard for me to split the two, like sound and doing my homework. A lot of people can read with headphones on. A lot of people can do homework with headphones on. I cannot. I cannot. I think the only um type of music that I am able to concentrate and just kind of like focus on is when I put classical music. When I put classical music, I don't know what it is about classical music. There's something about it that lets you kind of zone it out easy, but at the same time, like be listening to it. And by zoning it out, it helps me, like it allows me to do homework and have some sort of sound going in the background. So, some jazz helps, and some classical music as well. So those are the type of musics that I'm listening to if I really want to do like something uh, that requires me to be thinking at all times. And last but not least, this is the one that I like to emphasize for you young ones. It's learn to say no. And the reason why learning to say no is very important is because your friends are gonna invite you out, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, bro, you're gonna miss the biggest thing. You're gonna miss the biggest party, man. You gotta come out with us. You gotta kick back some booze." But that, and I mean, going now, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. I still do it, and it takes me forever to recover, but I still do it every now and again. But you shouldn't be doing it all the time. Like I'd be telling my friends, I'd be telling the egg boys, you know what, man, I'm gonna have to pass tonight because I cannot do this. I got homework, or I'm just tired. I'm not feeling it, whatever it is. But I'm saying no, and your friends should be able to understand that as well. They shouldn't be pushing it, because if they're your good friends, they should want you to do good in school as well, because that's important to you guys. So you guys must uh, help each other that way, not just bring each other down. Like, oh man, you're just weak. You don't want to come out with us and party till 5 a.m. and not get any sleep, and do it all over again next day. It's okay to say no, people. It's okay. Don't be a yes man all the time. Now, I myself, I, I tend to fall in this dangerous game as well, because I consider myself a pretty decently nice guy. I like to help out. I like to be able to help out. But if you have to do homework and your boss is telling you, "Hey, can you stay an extra 3 hours because we're gonna be short staffed," and you really need to do your homework, I mean, at that point, I guess it's a personal choice. You could either choose to make some more coin, make some more moolah, and stay, or you could choose to make your regular moolah and then go do your homework. But if your homework is due, and if your homework is important to you, you should be able to go home. And you should be able to tell your boss, no, it's completely natural. And your boss should not make you feel like you're not a hard worker, or like you're not helping enough or caring enough, because you care about a lot of things, not just work. Work is important, yes, but if you are studying, or if you have other things, not just studying, family, hobbies that you need to do, that you want to do, it's good to have those things also in a good pedestal, because priority pedestal, because if you don't, you're gonna end up uh, just doing work stuff, losing yourself, and basically going insane, being a psychopath or something like that. But anyways, guys, those are my things when it comes to distress. I decided to do a little capsule of distressing methods, because like I said, finals are coming out, and if you're watching this, you guys can probably take advantage of some of these tips, I guess, and you know, do your way with it, and let me know what works for you guys in the comments below. I actually would like to know if you guys have anything that works for you guys when you guys are stressed out. Please let me know in the comments below. Let me know. I want to read your comments. I want to see what works for you, because if there's anything that I can take as a as a, I don't know, learning method to de-stress, I'll take it. I'll read it, I'll use it, and I'll try it. So those were my de-stressors for the day. Now we're gonna get to the juicier part for this last 30-minute section. So you better buckle up. You better buckle up because it's about to. Yeah, yeah. We are about to get crazy up in here. Yeah, 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 yeah. And like I said, this is why I do the monologue, because I like to rant a little bit. It's a little bit of ranting, a little bit of observation, a little bit of making fun of myself and making fun of the things around me in a good way, not in a negative way, in a positive way. Um, so my complaint today is so nobody likes to go to public restrooms. If you like to go to public restrooms, you're kind of a psychopath. You're probably Michael Myers, because nobody likes to go to a public restroom and take a shit or pee. It's one of the most uncomfortable places. It's very awkward. There's a lot of people, and people that you don't know, people that you are not comfortable with, and there's a level of intimacy that someone needs in order to be able to take a dookie the right way. You don't just plop down and just let it out. At least not me. I'm very, very weird when it comes to that. I like to have peace when I go to the bathroom. I feel like the bathroom is an area where there should be no this stress, actually very a distressed area, very uncirculated distressed area. But when it comes to a public restroom, that's not it. Let's be realistic. That's not it. That doesn't happen. But the thing is, when you decide, when you make up your mind, when you go to Walmart or City Market or wherever you are, and you make the decision that you have to go take a shit, whether it's because you basically you have no other option. Like, you need to go. You're prairie dogging. You're like this. You're literally, you're literally almost there. You gotta go. So I remember that it used to happen every time I went with my mother in the mornings to Walmart, like in the weekends. Uh, we would just get there. I wouldn't have to go to I wouldn't have to go to the bathroom before, and then we would get there, and then automatically breakfast would hit, and then I'd be like, "Oh damn, I gotta go take a shit," and then I was like, "Mom, how long is it still till we leave?" It should be like, "We just got here," and I was like, "Fuck." Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to go try it and use the public restrooms. So it wasn't by choice. It was just basically a last minute thing. So you go into this cesspool of germs, with fucking germs everywhere. That's how I imagine it. Like, if they were to put one of those black lights on it, I feel like there would be like it just be white and glistening, just fluorescent everywhere because of how many germs and fluids and weird liquids have gone out. So once you make your way over, even if it's just been cleaned, it doesn't matter. I still think they're disgusting. I I hate the fact that you close the door behind you, and then you look down at the toilet bowl, and it's just filled with piss. Or nobody, people, why don't you guys flush? What it takes like 3 seconds, 3 seconds to pull the lever. If you if you don't want to touch the lever, I understand. Use the good old method that I use. I use my foot. I just kind of stomp on it, and it'll flush. But people, please flush. You guys are not. If you guys are not flushing, there's something wrong. You shouldn't. Your shit is not a present for somebody else to see. It's not a work of art. Flush that dang thing. Uh, I understand that sometimes you forget, but I mean, uh, come on. It's just flush the damn thing. So, Usually, what I do, I try to clean the toilet, with toilet paper. Try to give it a good old clean, I guess. And then I grab the herpes napkins. I like to call them the herpes napkins, the ones that kind of sit in front of you. And then there's these napkins that you kind of pull from like a cubby that they're in, and you basically set them on the toilet. And I use those. But I have a couple complaints about it, and this needs to be fixed because those things are so hard to take apart without destroying. Like, I've gone through literally 5, 6 sheets because I cannot get them the right way. And I'm like, I'm not just gonna put pieces of that on the toilet. I need a full one. And the thing is, like, I don't just use one. I use two of them because for some reason I feel like if I use one, that the germs are just gonna be able to still seep in through it. So by putting a second layer, it just mentally helps me feel a lot better. Uh, when I'm ready to go to the bathroom, right? And for some reason, it always happens. You have to go to take a shit, and you're there, and you're kind of holding it in, and then you're trying to get these towels to come out, but they keep ripping on you, and you're just like, God dang it, what the fuck? And once you finally get to put those towels on the herpes napkins on the toilet, oh Lord, this has happened to me so many times. I hate it with a passion. Once you finally are able to put those things on, I roll down my pants. I'm about to sit down, bare ass naked, pointing towards the toilet, and the automatic flusher fucking takes away your napkins. It takes them away because if you guys see, there's a little flap where the poop shoots basically, and if that flap happens to be touching the water, it becomes really sticky to the water. So the automatic flusher is really strong, usually, so it'll flush away and pull both towels away from the toilet seat, and then you're there just hanging out, just kind of hanging out, ass naked, and trying to squat down, almost ready to shit yourself. And then you have to repeat the procedure, obviously, because you're not. If you're a nasty guy, you're just gonna sit. Not me. I'm gonna hold that in. I'm gonna go for a good old 3 seconds, hopefully, and get those herpes napkins on there as again, and hopefully the bathroom doesn't take them away, steal them from me. So I usually like try to make it so that nothing is touching the water. Then you sit down, and then you are able to do it. That's why I don't like public restrooms. Normally, if I'm in a place where I'm gonna have a public restroom, I usually take headphones just because I like listening to music when I do grocery shopping. Mostly because I don't want to interact with anyone. I'm just like I'm just here to get my eggs. I'm sorry. I'm just here to get some deodorant, man. I'm not trying to talk really. I'm not trying to hold traffic. It's just one of those things that I do when I am grocery shopping. So if you guys see me and you guys are like, "Oh, he didn't say hi," it's not because I'm trying to ignore you. It's because I'm trying to ignore you guys. I'm just trying to ignore you. Yes, with my music on. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. It's just kind of a. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing that I do. I don't know if people do it. I put my headphones on and I try to do my thing. But anyways, coming back, if I have my headphones on, I love, not love, but it makes going to a public restroom a lot better because what I do is I blast my music so that way I don't have to listen to the person next to me if there's any person next to me, or if a person comes in, or sounds, weird sounds that might come out of me or come out of anybody else. I don't get to listen to that, and in a way, that gives me a false sense of confidence and a false sense of peace. So whenever I have music on, I just concentrate on the music and I do my thing, and be out of my way. Easy enough. But when you don't have that and you have to deal with the shit that goes on, I get it, the shit that goes on around you, uh, then it makes it really awkward. It makes going to the bathroom really awkward. And I feel I feel embarrassed for people next to me. Like I'm like, how are you not embarrassed of like shitting your brains out and people being able to listen to you, man? You're crazy. But more power to you, I guess. Own your butthole. I don't know. It's good. Not me. I try to be very careful when it comes to that. But that brings me to the next story. A story. This is a complete true story. Where are we? We are 40 minutes and I have plenty of time to tell you guys this good old story. And it's gonna get gross, guys. It's gonna get a little weird. So if you've had enough of the shit talk, you better tune out. If you are like me and you love the shit talk, just stay tuned and hear these shitty tea that I'm about to spill on y'all. Um, Basically, okay. So the other day I was in Walmart. I went to the bathroom, right? And I made it a thing to go across the Walmart to the bathroom that it's very it's less populated, where not a lot of people go through, and there's a lot more privacy. So I go to the bathroom, I sit down, I'm doing my thing, and everything's good. Everything's actually coming out really okay. Except for when I went in, there was this guy. So for some reason, the one of the bathrooms was locked from the inside. So, but there was nobody on the other side. So somebody had, as a prank, basically, closed the bathroom door and then basically Rambo crawled underneath the bathroom. That is disgusting. Why would you be Rambo crawling underneath in a bathroom? You're literally mopping the floor with your sweater, shirt, and then a floor filled with filthy germs. Don't do that. Don't play around. That's not even something you should be playing around with. Like that is disgusting. But anyways, this guy did this, and another guy had to go in, kick the door. So at first I thought it was good, and then obviously we start seeing weird shit. Very typical of a Walmart scenery. So somebody kicks the door down, goes in, goes to the bathroom stall. So I'm just waiting till everything sort of clears out. Everything clears out. I go into the bathroom stall. I do my thing. I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear somebody else come into the bathroom, right? And they happen to be right next to me. So they sit down, and I start hearing like murmuring next to me. And at first, I thought the dude was might have been praying, and I'm like, maybe he's praying, which is totally cool. I've prayed in the bathroom. It's one of those places where like I said, there's a weird sense of peace that comes with it. So you talk to yourself, you kind of ponder, you investigate these ideas in your head. You kind of psychoanalyze yourself while taking a shit, and that's totally cool. I've done it before. I understand. So at first, I'm listening to this guy do his prayers, which ended up not being a prayer. He turns out he was talking to himself, and I cannot make this up, guys. Like he was talking to himself, and then all of a sudden he started getting louder and louder and louder. And I was like, oh shit. So I don't know if he knew that he was not alone, or maybe he thought he was alone and just kind of like let everything out. I was going to say let shit out, but obviously enough of the shit puns here. But um, he started going on this very weird. It started to get weird, and it's there's nothing more. You don't feel more vulnerable than being bare ass naked in a public toilet seat with a person that's talking to themselves right next to you, and almost yelling in an almost yelling manner. So he was like, he started saying things like, "Oh no, not again. Oh shit, what is this? Why? Why? Why does it keep coming out? I I'm serious. He was saying things like that, like it's oh no, I'm so screwed. Not again. Why is it everywhere? I'm like, oh no. Like at this point, I'm invested. I'm almost like putting my ear next to the separator, the separating wall or whatever. I'm like, what is going on the other side? Honestly, I was kind of curious, but also I was kind of scared. Like I was scared that he was gonna like try to reach from underneath the bathroom stall like a scary movie and have like his hand covered with like I don't know, like something gross. It just get my shoes dirty or something stupid like that. I honestly like so I was like leaning forward onto the separator, but I was also like leaning away from the actual wall. Like my shoes were away and out of his reach. And apparently this guy had a really bad time taking a dump. He was like, not again. Why is it everywhere? I, at this point, I'm just like sitting there awkwardly. I'm like, I cannot look at this guy in the face. This is too embarrassing, even for me. Like this is embarrassing for me. So he opens the bathroom stall door, walks outside, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let him be. I'm gonna let him wash his hands, and I'm gonna have him go do whatever he is doing, and just to avoid any awkwardness, any more awkwardness, I should say, that there needs to be, right? So I'm just sitting there, butt naked, and then I hear him say, "Oh shit," like just kind of, you know, uh, washing his hands or whatever, and then I hear him walk out. Just so I hear him walk out. I get up. I'm like, okay, this is my time. I gotta go, wash my hands or whatever. I get up, wash my hands. At this point, I'm just kind of like, what the hell was that? Honestly, that was the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me. And as I'm getting ready to walk outside, the dude comes back and just stares at me like a crazy man. I, I'm like trying to avoid eye contact at all cost, and this guy's just staring at me like, yeah, you just saw me, didn't you? He didn't say anything, but that's exactly what I felt he was saying with his eyes. You know when somebody stares at you and like you could literally swear that they're the way they're looking at you is telling you volumes. Like it's telling you a lot of information that you don't want to know. That's exactly how it felt. Like I felt like this dude making eye contact with me, awkward eye contact, may I add, was just telling me like, yeah, you heard me. You heard me take a shit, didn't you? I I know. So I just kind of kept walking, and this guy kind of like turned and just kind of awkwardly kept staring at me until I left. And that was not a pretty sight, guys. I honestly was a little freaked out, and that's why I hate going to public restrooms. I fucking hate it. I don't like it. They're disgusting. They're not pleasant. It's never a good time when it comes to that. You've especially in a place like where a lot of people go in and out. You never know what you're gonna find. Like there's a Rick and Morty episode where Morty goes in and there's this guy trying to rape him. A jelly bean guy tries to rape him in the bathroom stall. I feel like that happens more often than not, and I'm scared. The guys have to probably take their keys and put them in between their knuckles because we're scared. We're vulnerable. So that was my story about that. Uh, it was not. It's completely real. It's completely real, and it was not a good feeling. Where are we now? We are 50 minutes in. Okay, I guess I can add a 5 minute thing real quick. So the place where I started working at, we have to dress business casual. It's just kind of a thing that we have to do. Business casual is the way to go when it comes to working at this place. So I I wore a pair of nice shoes, dress shoes that I had, and I started wearing them for a week. Um, and then I started realizing that my feet were hurting really bad. Like my feet were blistering up. Like it was bad. My feet were hurting, and I was like, then it hit me. I was like, do you guys remember or do you guys know about the brand name Sketcher? I remember I used to diss on it really bad. I was like, how is a brand like Sketcher still a thing? How is a brand like Sketcher still out? How are they still relevant? And after working in this job, I realized why they're still relevant. And I had to swallow my pride and swallow my words when I found this out. And that is because Skechers is made for business people or people that work in an office or people that have to dress semi casual or casual, and they make these dress shoes that are very very comfortable, and they're not half bad, but they're not the best looking shoe, but they're really comfortable. They'll get the job done, right? And I started saying, well, now I get it. The reason why Skechers are still relevant, why you can still find stores at malls that have Skechers on them, or even a Skechers store. And it's funny because other brands have not made it. Like whatever happened to Fat Farm? You guys remember Fat Farm? Whatever happened to that? To Dada? That was another brand. Uh, there's brands that have gone down the deep end, left and right, but Skechers is still remains. It still remains very relevant. And the reason is because there's older middle-aged men that work in these type of places or just walk around or just are always in motion. They like to look semi casual, and Skechers makes the shoe for them. Skechers makes shoes that are very comfortable. So now I want a pair of Skechers. I want a pair of Skechers because I have failed the swag. The swag has failed me, and now Skechers are a thing that is on my bucket list of style. Honestly, I've tried a pair the other day, and holy shit, like I could walk. It's like walking on clouds. Very comfortable, very good stuff, quality stuff, honestly. And now I need some. But guess what? They are actually kind of expensive. They're actually pricey. So uh, middle-aged men ain't fucking around when it comes to comfort. They're like, oh yeah, you want to make fun of us? Well, guess what? We're comfortable and we're bougie as well. It's expensive. It's expensive to get a good pair of Skechers nowadays. Apparently, I didn't know that, but now I do. So, anyways, guys, that was the monologue. We are 53 minutes in. 53 minutes in. 53 minutes of playing around with me. And I'm happy you guys were able to join me. I'm happy to do episode number 7. I'm more excited to do the blog part of it. Like I said, it's still in the workings. I will be in Orlando this next week shooting, making good footage for you guys. I even bought a microphone because I want you guys to enjoy the ride. I want you guys to be there, to be with me, just like you guys are right now. You guys might be across the screen, but you guys are right here in my heart, right here. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And listen to this crazy old man, old guy, old teen, old teen. We'll go with old teen. Um, like always, you guys can follow me on Instagram. My name is Derek Mayo 92 on Instagram. You guys can add me on Snapchat. I love posting Snapchats. I haven't been able to as much because just fucking life, man. So life is just kicking my booty. But you guys can add me on Snapchat, Dmay 92. I'm on Twitter, but I don't really use Twitter. Twitter's kind of toxic. I don't do that very much. I don't buck with it. Um, and hopefully, I'm still debating whether to make an Instagram page for the Egg Boys. I'm not sure. It's still something that's in the back of my head. Maybe when I get a little more time. Maybe when I have a little more time in my hands, I'll be able to administer the pages and whatnot. But we do have a Facebook page. You guys can always stay tuned on that and see when we post stuff. I post it there first, and then I post it on my Snapchat, and then I post it on my Instagram. And I try to make links so you guys can have accessibility to it, because we bring dessert to you. You don't have to come to us. We bring it to you. We put the platter in the splatter. Yeah, that's we're gonna end with there. Um, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. With that being said, see ya next time.